My name is Savannah Sweeney, and I'm a student advocate at Towson University. I want to start by thanking the panel for taking the time to hear my statement and for considering my stance on the topic of re-entry and the Second Chance Act of 2008. I would like to begin with a story to fully put my statement into perspective. I can remember my brother and his best friend being put in jail for a petty crime weeks before graduating from high school. My brother, who is 7 years my senior, attained his diploma equivalent only 12 months before me due to his incarceration and the social consequences associated with his changed status. Unfortunately, neither my brother nor his friend were given an ounce of consideration when they were released and began looking for jobs. They spoke of the degrading manner in which people suddenly found they had a right to treat them, and how not only the prison system, but the people surrounding them upon their release made them feel lower than trash. His friend told us that as a person of color, he had become immune, even accustomed to this treatment, yet the addition of a conviction made him even more undesirable. None of the employers cared about their spotless records, their good grades, or their involvement in our community prior to their minor infraction. Many new release members face overwhelming obstacles in reintegrating into society and finding legitimate employment and housing, often leading them to reoffend and fall back on the same habits that landed them in prison in the first place. To counteract these challenges, Congress passed the Second Chance Act in April 2008. Endorsed by a broad spectrum of leaders in law enforcement, corrections, behavioral health, and other areas, the bill authorized $165 million in federal grants to provide vital reintegration services to make a person's transition from prison to civilian life more successful. Since it was enacted, it has supported hundreds of local, state, and tribal government agencies, as well as nonprofit organizations, serving an estimated 164,000 people to date. Unfortunately, though, during 2015 alone, over 640,000 people who had been sentenced to prison were released back into their communities. In the same year, $68 million was spent on these specific services and the individuals in need of them. Too few people are actually impacted by the Second Chance Act for the amount of money that is put into it every year. In fact, 6 out of 10 people released from state prisons are reincarcerated within 3 years for a new crime or a parole violation. Current policy, exemplified by the Second Chance Act, reinforces hierarchies both in education and the workplace by narrowly defining prisoners as human capital within our society. This act could potentially rectify the long-standing injustices convicted members face, yet continue to be ostracized from contributing to society well after paying for their crimes. Thank you for your time.